In this video, we're going to be finding out all about Swedish nouns. Låt oss börja. Hej och välkomna till Coffee Break Swedish. Jag heter Mark.
Och jag heter Lovisa.
And as I said, in this video, we're going to be finding out about Swedish nouns because our listener Wallace got in touch and Wallace wanted to know how do you form the indefinite and definite forms of Swedish nouns. Now, Lovisa, it's a little bit different from in English, isn't it?
It's a little different, yeah.
Okay, do you want to tell us then about how we form these nouns?
Yeah. Well, the first thing we need to do is identify whether we're talking about an N-word or an Et-word.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have an N-word, we have three different categories that these can be in.
Okay.
So first off, if it ends in an E, for example, the word en pinne.
Okay, so I'm just going to
which
start
means
by putting on singular and plural in here so that we've got that. So what did you say? En pinne?
Yeah, en pinne. That means a stick.
Okay, so a stick. And how would you say the stick?
Well, we just move the N to the end of the word, so it becomes pinnen.
So this may be new to some of our viewers and listeners. En pinne, a stick. And then to make the definite form, the stick, we put the N on the end of the word. So pinnen, that takes the N on the So what about the plural forms?
Well, if it ends in an E, like this one does, we add AR to the end. So it becomes pinnar.
Pinnar? Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be sticks. And what about the sticks?
Then we just add on another NA. So it becomes pinnarna.
Pinnarna.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. So that we've got sticks and the sticks. Let's go through the whole thing. A stick.
En pinne.
The stick.
Pinnen.
Sticks.
Pinnar.
And the sticks.
Pinnarna.
Jättebra. Okay, so that's one of the N possibilities. What's another possibility for an N word?
Well, an N-word can also end in an A. For example, the word en flicka, which means a girl.
En flicka.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, to make it definite, we move the N to the end. But this time we remove the A as well, just because it's a vowel.
Okay.
So it becomes flickan.
Flickan. Okay, so the girl, the girl.
Yeah. And to make it plural indefinite, we add OR. So it becomes flickor.
Flickor. Okay, so girls and the girls would be?
Again, we just add NA, flickorna.
So we have flickorna. Okay, flickorna. So again, let's go through this. We've got a girl.
En flicka.
The girl.
Flickan.
Girls.
Flickor.
And the girls.
Flickorna.
Okay. Right, and there's one more situation with N-words, and what would that be?
That's normally when we have borrowed words. So words that we've taken from other languages. For example, the word for a phone, en telefon.
En telefon. Okay, so let me write this one down. En telefon, which becomes, that would be a telephone. The telephone would be?
Telefonen.
Okay, telefonen.
Yeah, so we do the same thing here. Move the en to the end.
Mm-hmm. And what about phones?
Telefoner.
Right.
So we add er.
Telefoner. Okay.
Yeah.
And can I guess what the phones would be?
Yeah.
Telefonerna.
Precis.
Okay.
Bra jobbat. Well done.
So telefonerna. Oops.
Yeah.
There we go. Nah. We've got it in there. Okay, telefonerna. So those are our N words. What about our Et words?
This is a little simpler because we only have two categories.
Okay.
If the noun ends in a vowel, for example, the word for a piano, it's piano.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, we just add, or we move the T to the end, so it becomes pianot to make it singular definite.
Pianot, like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it plural indefinite, we just add an N. So it becomes pianon.
So pianon. So this is a little bit strange because it doesn't look very plural, does it?
It doesn't, no. But again, because we only have two different categories of et words, hopefully we can still be able to learn the rule, even though it can be a bit tricky sometimes.
Okay, so what is the plural definite form? How do we say the pianos?
We actually just add an A, so it becomes pianona.
Pianona. Now, there's no R in there. That's pianona, two N's, but no R. So let's go through these ones again. We'll say a piano.
Et piano.
The piano.
Pianot.
Pianos.
Pianon.
And the pianos.
Pianona.
Jättebra. Okay, now do we have one more category?
We have one more category, and this is the last one.
Okay, go for it.
This is also for et words. So we can take ett bord as an example of this type of word.
Like a table. Ett bord.
Yeah.
Okay, a table, yeah.
Yeah. And to make it definite, again, we just move the ET to the end. So it becomes bordet.
Okay, but we just move one of those T's. We don't need both of them. So
No,
the
just
table.
one. And to make it plural, nothing changes from the singular.
Okay.
So it's just bord.
Boat. So tables.
Yeah.
And then the tables.
Borden. So we add EN.
Now, this is the one that confuses me because that EN looks like it's an N word all of a sudden, but no, it's not. It's the plural definite form of an et word in this situation.
Yeah. Exactly. It can be a bit tricky, but it just takes a bit of practice and then you'll be able to spot it in no time.
Okay, now as ever, there are some other things that we've not quite been able to fit into this video and also some irregulars. So this should give you a good start in understanding how to use singular, indefinite, definite and plural indefinite and definite forms of Swedish words. We hope that that has been useful for Wallace. Now, if you have a question like Wallace, then all you need to do is go to coffeebreakquestions.com and leave your question there, and hopefully we'll be able to include that in a future episode of this show. And, of course, if you've enjoyed it, then make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell icon that appears to be notified when we post new videos.
And also, of course, please feel free to practice all of this new knowledge in the comments below this video. We would love to see your examples and let you know how you get on.
We'll be back again soon with more Coffee Break Swedish. For now, tack så mycket.
Tack så mycket.
Hej då!
Hej då!